She's like, what does a girl need to do to like get some attention from it? Here I am again, looking nice in Central Park, ready for nobody to come and talk to me. And there is a bit I see in guys, and I see sort of in myself, this sense of, well, what did he think was going to happen? When you said that the male gaze is toxic, when you said that any attention from a man to a woman, 20% of Gen Z say that a man approaching a woman in person always or usually constitutes harassment.
Mm-hmm.
Men already had approach anxiety. It was about overcoming approach anxiety, the single scariest thing that a man ever has to do, because rejection feels like existential pain. So you had, in one breath, women who were very attractive saying, I wish that men would approach me more.
Mm-hmm.
And you think, okay, so in one breath, you're saying, we, women, want guys to approach us more.
Mm-hmm.
And in the other, there is an app that's number 2 on the App Store that is dedicated to warning women off of men.
Mm-hmm.
For how dangerous they are with substantiated and unsubstantiated claims. Trying to just blend these two worlds together, it did feel a little bit like the inverse of luxury beliefs, that I don't know whether many of the really attractive women would be on the app submitting their rumors.
That's just taking advantage of them. If you're sensitive, just scroll on. She gone? Okay. I think that if a woman brings a baby into this world, for a man that said he didn't want to have a child with her, she should be obligated and responsible for child support to that man, even if she has the child. Even if she is the custodial parent and he never sees the kid, that man should be compensated, because now he got a seed walking around here on this earth that he don't even want. That is not fair. That's just taking advantage of them.
Women are upset that men aren't approaching them in public anymore.
You know what? I don't want to speak for women on this issue, so let's hear directly from the source. If you are sad that this guy is no longer approaching you in public, let's hear it in the comments. Let me know. I have a feeling how they're going to respond, though.
There's a new trend going on where women will go put themselves out there, dress up a little more, make themselves seem a little perkier in an attempt to get men to approach them, and the men aren't approaching them, and they're upset about it.
Are they, though? Is that happening? Because I'm pretty chronically online and I have yet to see this outpouring of videos from women longing for the days of men invading their peace. This feels like a red pill urban legend.
Newsflash, ladies, y'all created this problem. Y'all supported the feminist cause that said men should be shamed for approaching women.
I see that your first inclination was to blame women. Right. But men have been complaining about this exact thing for decades, at least as long as I've been an adult. But whenever I talk to women about this issue, the most consistent answer is not that being approached in and of itself is bad. It's that men don't know how to accept a no. That whenever a man approaches them in public, they have to wonder in the back of their mind, is this rejection going to lead to harassment, threats, stalking, physical violence, right? If that was going through your mind every single time someone approached you, would you be excited about it?
Y'all created imaginary boyfriends who don't exist to say, I'm not interested. But because you didn't have the balls to say I'm not interested, you said, I have a boyfriend, and made an excuse.
Did they not have the balls, as you put it? Or did they know that you're more likely to respect an imaginary man than you are to respect them rejecting your advances?
So explain to me how you plan on fixing this problem that you created.
We know who created this problem, Kevin. And if your expectation is for women to solve the problem of men like you harassing them in public spaces, I think you're going to be waiting a very long time.
And this is kind of the disingenuous stuff that you run across. And I understand he's trying to say, well, I mean, you know, women aren't thinking this. They're not doing this, but they are. I mean, there's countless. Where are you getting this from? Show of hands in the comments. Well, of course, in the comments, they're not going to say, well, no, I want him to approach me. Of course not. They're going to say, no, I don't want this guy to approach me. I'm happy, this, and all that other stuff. But you have women on here that continue to say, where are the good men at? How come men aren't approaching? I'm looking for a man to be this for me, to act like this. And I'm 40 and I want to be approached. I'm 50 and I want to be approached. I'm 60 and men don't treat me the same way they used to when I was young, when I was 20, when I was 30 years old.
And there was a bunch of people on the internet who made a comparison between these videos of women in Manhattan who steal men's salads, look at the name on the top of it, then message them on Instagram and say, I'm so sorry that I stole your salad, in a desperate attempt to try and overcome approach anxiety from men to women. There's these videos of girls in maxi dresses with their hair done, just going, I just want one guy to buy me a drink. Mid-20s, very voluptuous. There's another one of a woman walking through Central Park, big naturals, low top, and she's saying, look at me, the skin's flowing, the boobs are out, and not a single guy is going to approach me today. Some people made comparisons between the videos made by women saying they wished men approached them more, who seemed quite eligible and like the sort of women that you would imagine it happens to, with the data breach from the T app. That was not the same cohort when it comes to female mate value. It was much more short hair, piercings, a little bit heavier. And it was just an interesting world where you have the women that you think this might happen to a lot, wanting it more and it not happening. Women who you might think it was a bit more scarce for, being a part of a community who warn women off of men and actually are actively disincentivizing this. So it could be kind of this inverse luxury belief thing, which is like Isaiah Berlin's Inner Citadel. If I can't get what I want, I must teach myself to want what I can get. And then bind together, like the female equivalent of sort of inceldom, I suppose.
This is actually something so frustrating to men because they hold themselves back from approaching women since they've been told time and time again that women don't want to be approached. But then here's these women wondering why men aren't approaching them while they're looking like they are having the worst time ever, which is so frustrating because it feels like a game and meeting new people is tough enough, especially when you don't want this to be the thing that's eliminating potentially good partners. I mean, there's already enough crazies out there, which is why I always recommend to men to do a public data check on a trusted website like publicdatacheck.com before pursuing the woman that you're interested in, because it can save you from wasting a lot of your time and effort.
I'll keep saying that he has so many red flags and I don't see it, but I also don't think you guys have the full picture because, like, I'm not sweet and innocent in all this. But, I mean, I'm not saying that he's perfect either, but y'all know I love Sheer 7 and I've been using her stuff and it's low-key been working because he has been feeding into the palm of my hands exactly how I want him to. Like, I want him to think I'm talking to other guys because if a guy thinks that you're only talking to one guy, like, he thought more, like, I can see him, like, legit, like, buttoning up and trying to be better because he wants to be the favorite. Like, and I do like him. Yes, I want things casual because I don't want my heart broken, but I fear the amount we have shared is making it not, like, anyways, he's been, like, so kind and patient with me, especially with my assault, and, like, he's even said, like, oh, I think you have gotten so much better, like, since we've been talking, like, and I feel like I'm helping you heal, and I was like, that one hurt my heart, because, like, it is true, like, he is, it's not, and I think that's what scares me and why I don't want anything serious, is because I do know he has helped me heal so much with my assault, just because he really is, like, such a kind and patient man, like, he's, like, super gentle, and, like, he will work through my PTSD with me. Someone said he was love bombing, and he is definitely not love bombing. We've been talking for, like, over 3 months, and we just started telling each other we liked each other, like, this ain't love bombing, babe. This ain't love bombing. But I just really think that he's, like, super unsure of, like, my feelings because, like, my actions sometimes don't match my words and my words don't match my actions. But it's also by design. Like, I don't want him to know that I like him because, like, I might want something more with him if we're being honest, but, like, I'm not ready for that. And so that's why I say I want casual. Like, I like him, but the thought of talking to him every day sounds suffocating. Even though I would like to. Do you know what I'm saying? But I stop myself from doing that. And even my friends are saying, like, why don't you just text him back? Because I don't want to talk to him, okay? And then if I do text him back, we'll text like throughout the whole day and everything. But then I always end up stop texting him because like, it's just like, feelings. Come on, guys.
Well, the issue is you guys play these silly games because it's fun, short term. Kind of like, well, I messed with this guy or I was with this guy, short term. But then when you start getting into long term, what you need from a man, all of this stuff goes out of the window because a man starts to see, oh, this is just a game. This does a trick. She's not really serious. And then that little game that you were playing no longer works. And you actually lose the man that you really wanted, because you was acting stupid, listening to dumb advice.
When y'all say you started walking with Christ and your phone is bone dry, the girlies were not lying. Because back in the day when I was living in the world, there was always a guy to date. There was always someone my type. I would see them often, whether it's on a dating app, in person, wherever it might be. I would see somebody my type. Nowadays, I'm literally here in San Francisco. I'm literally here in the city. There is an overpopulation of people. I never see anybody. I never talk to anybody. Nobody approaches me that much anymore. When the girlies said God had them in hiding, they were not lying. And I am grateful for it. Don't get me wrong. I'm grateful for it. I'm tired of the distractions. I'm tired of the soul ties. I'm tired of that attachment, the feeling rejection, feeling like abandonment, garbage, trauma coming up. So yes, it is very freeing being single, but then sometimes it makes you start to think like start getting doubtful. The enemy puts this negativity in your head. It's like, okay, well, wow, I don't even see anyone on my type. I'm not talking to anyone. I have no roster. Like, what's going on? Am I ever going to find anybody? Is there nobody in the city? Am I alone? Like, it really starts messing with you and getting in your head. And even though you know that's false information, but it's like, well, what am I supposed to think when there's no one around me? But I will say I'd much rather have the peace of just being here, chilling at the house, working on my relationship with God, not worrying about some man, if the relationship's going to work out, what if. Yeah, it's so much more peaceful now. But it better not last forever, because I don't want that.
Well, it doesn't really have you in hiding. It's just that you stopped dealing with certain types of men, which you really didn't need God to tell you. You really didn't need to go to church to learn that. Great that you did, but men have been telling you, hey, stop dealing with that guy. Leave that man alone. But you've gotten yourself into a lot of stuff that you probably shouldn't have. And now that you're saying, let me focus on this over here, a lot of the other stuff that you used to do has kind of gone by the wayside, which once again, good for you. But men have kind of been telling you, hey, stop doing this.
I was a man, every woman would want me, because I would just love and cherish them and tell them how beautiful and precious they were and kiss them on their foreheads, play with their hair, buy them gifts, take them to nice dinners.
That's not how it works. Let me tell you how it works. One, you're going to be labeled the nice guy. The girls are going to like you. You're going to be all in their phones on their free meal. Either that, or you're just going to get a bunch of restraining orders. That's how it works. Okay? You're going to be labeled the nice guy really, really fast. It's either the nice guy or the creepy guy. That's how it works. I'm not saying that women do not like that. They do. They don't like it all the time, though. No, they don't. I don't know why, but they don't. So, yeah. I feel you're a woman. I feel like you should know this.
I'm 135 pounds. I can cook. I can clean. I have all of my teeth except for my wisdom teeth. I can change brakes. So I definitely can change tires. I know how to change my own oil. I can paint walls of houses. I can put them tile things up on the roof. I can grow the hell out of some food. I can make clothes. I can wash clothes, iron clothes, fix clothes. I can do hair. I can make medicine from plants. I can do taxes. I'm starting a nonprofit. I am, how do I say this? I work out, okay? I'm physically fit. I work out. I take care of myself. I can drive. I'm ahead on my bills. I can buy my own flowers. I can arrange the flowers and I can grow the flowers. I could heal myself and I could heal others. That's just scratching the surface of me not trying to sound like I'm doing too much. Yet with all of these things that I have going on, I will never, ever explain to a man what I bring to the table.
You know, all of that is fine and dandy. Even the not explaining what you bring to the table part, even though that's just what you just did. But out of all the things you named that you got, possess, and that you could do, you forgot like 2 things. Not much, just 2 things. And they like the most important to any and every man. It's just 2 things though you forgot to say that you can do. And we just want to know if you able to sit down and shut the up, funky bitch. We'll literally trade everything else you just named for those 2 things right there.
I don't know, because marriage is not the goal.
So marriage is not the goal?
Not for everyone.
So what is the goal?
I don't know, but if you want to make it your goal, hey, be careful.
So a 2-parent household is not the goal?
I'm not about to jump out my skin because you got ignorant ass responses.
I'm just listening to what you're saying. You know what I'm saying?
I didn't say that.
You have an ignorant ass mindset. 80% of men that are locked up right now come out of single mother households. Men and boys, on average, do way better in life when they have 2 parents in the household. Their father and their mother. That 2-parent household automatically is going to be better for that child. Statistically, the facts show it. Kids that are raised in single mother households don't do well as kids that are raised in single father households. Those are facts, those are the stats. So I would say that the key to making sure that your kids have a successful life is to make sure that that man is in that child's life. And what better way to have that man in that child's life if mommy and daddy are in the same house at the same time being a parent?
I
appreciate it, Tressa.
Same house and their kids still will end up at rehab or committing a crime and doing a life sentence.
80% less though. 80% less. Those are the stats. I'm not making that up. That's not an opinion. Those are the stats.
Somewhere in general.
No, I went to the website and did my research. The CDC. Go to the CDC website right now. 80% of black men that are locked up come from single mother households. Women are raising the very that they hate. Women are raising the criminals. Women are raising the murderers, the rapists. Women are raising these people because daddy instills discipline. And discipline is what it keeps these black men out of jail. Discipline is what prevents a man from being emotional and being a crybaby and being throwing a temper tantrum because he had his daddy in the life to punch him in the chest like you acting like a man up. So why would we sit there and get mad at men that are feminine or throwing hissy fits or weird as hell and then try to raise the same exact man by removing the father? I just don't get it.
Interesting people to come on my podcast. I need some interesting people to come on my show. You got a story to tell. You got a product to promote. You got an album releasing or a single. Hey man, come on the Ugly Money Podcast. One of the biggest podcast platforms in the Southeast. It's bigger than radio. I do more views than TV. You definitely want to tap in. Just DM me the word interview.
She know how to say yes, daddy. Good girl, she know how to make a man happy. She a short queen, but she get a little scrappy. Watch out for this girl, she a little nasty. She know how to be a...
Name something a woman can do that a man can't. How about wear clothes that are already too revealing and then make sure they're 2 sizes too small so your entire body spills out of them? Is that an option, or are we just talking about setting dumbbells down? I don't think that it should be legal to dress like this in public. I'm just going to say that. And be like, Garrett, you're just being harsh because she's fat. Yes, I am. 1, I don't think that you should be allowed to dress this revealing in public. I don't think it's appropriate. But 2, nobody wants to see that. Nobody wants to see this. Well, she can do everything everybody else could do. No. I don't think that guys with 10-inch arms should be wearing cutoffs either. This is a little bit different because, like, your entire body is on display. There are children that come into the gym, and also gross.
I find it so interesting that when I talk about meeting my husband's needs, the automatic assumed thought is that it's just like the only need a man ever has is a need. That is completely untrue. Don't get me wrong. I've never denied my husband. I've never turned him down. I've never refused. I've always responded because I love being desired by my husband. And transparently, my husband's super okay. I desire my husband. But men are also significantly more complex than just lustful creatures like women like to paint them out to be. For example, women will sit here and demand a man increase his emotional intelligence, right? What they really crave is that emotional vulnerability from a man. If you've ever listened to a man without interrupting him or trying to change his mind, you will hear from them that being vulnerable with a woman is a dangerous game to play. And women don't want to hear that because they refuse to take responsibility or accountability for the fact that they weaponize men's vulnerabilities. They will attack them, they will degrade them, and then they will emasculate him, and he will never come back from that. So
this is supposed to be a joke, but trust me, stuff like this really happens in relationships. Ladies, trust me, I understand. You don't want to have sex all the time. Maybe you're tired, long day at work. You just feel like you want to rest. But the main thing is, if you're in a relationship with a man who's wanting you, desiring you, and especially doing right by you, and you don't want to give him the ultimate thing in the relationship that most men get in relationships for, he's going to definitely end up getting a side bitch, and you're going to be sad and crying like, why? Why does he want me no more? It's because you had the opportunity to please your man, but you chose to play around and go to sleep. I know this is satire. I know it's a joke, but there's a lot of relationships where men are begging their girl to have. Like, trust me, I understand you on your period. You know, a traumatic experience happened. Somebody passed away, or you're just completely tired. I get it. Trust me. I understand. But if you promise your man something you don't want to dish out, don't get mad if he gets a side and you want to get married. Pack it up.
And once again, I say, if a man stop paying them bills, then it's going to be a problem. It's going to be, oh, it's not funny. He's not a real man. He wasn't taking care of his responsibility. When he laughing at the camera, smiling for the camera, and throwing up peace signs, it's going to be a problem because he ain't paying the bill.
I always think ahead. So, of course, I'm single and I'm able to post in pictures and, act all promiscuous and stuff like that. But the way I look at it is the husband that I'm going to have, he's not going to like me posting bikini photos and acting all promiscuous online. That's the kind of quality man that I'm looking for, if that makes sense. And I also have brothers, so I think it's a respect thing, that I built over the years. I do fall for the trap of posting sometimes on my stories like an outfit or this and that, showing, curves and stuff. But then I rethink about it and I'm like, what's the need? Like, why am I doing this? And I just stop it, And it's good to see your mistakes. Like, as long as you realize it and you do better next day, it's good, it's fine. But if ever you're gonna see me posting bikini stuff and acting all promiscuous on the internet, just know I decided to leave God. And just know that I'm not looking for a quality man anymore. I just gave up on finding a quality man. That's the only time you're gonna see me do that.
This, and this. Listen, if you want to turn heads when you walk into a room, you are going to want to get these bodysuits by Avid Love.
Look, I salute the hustle, but one thing you got to tell them is not coming with that body. And y'all say, what body? This body.
What's amazing to me is she's got an OnlyFans. Everybody's got an OnlyFans now. I looked at her profile. I think it's Tamara Lee is me. Tamara Lee, like whatever her name is, sister or something like that. We got an OnlyFans. I was like, everybody. You find content, it's halfway decent, and then you click on their profile. You're like, oh, what else they got? they got an OnlyFans. They got an OnlyFans. That's what else they have, right? This, to me, it looks innocent enough. Like she's, it's something like you would see on Instagram. And from the way he's talking, I'm thinking, oh, well, what is he talking about? What he's referring to? And I thought what he just showed in the video was a one-off thing. But then you realize, oh, shoot, a lot of these ladies, they present a certain way, and then you go to their page and it's actually, oh, here's my OnlyFans. Dang. They're getting good.
I have no income. I have no money. I use my husband's credit card. He told me that he wants to move forward with divorce.
Exact reason why I say you should be getting your own money on. Because what the hell do y'all be sitting at home doing with the money? Like, y'all just sit at home and just don't stash none of the money. You don't save none of the money, stash none of the money. Is he not giving you no money? That's what it is. Like, they bird feed you, so they're not really giving you money. They just buying the stuff. Because she said, like, she be using her husband's credit card. And from what I know, you could get money off of the credit card. So what is it that you was over there doing? Like, you... And it's not funny. I'm not laughing because the situation is terrible. But I'm just saying, like, what the was you doing with the money? You wasn't getting the money? Like, you wasn't getting no money from your husband.
If I remember this lady correctly, she admitted in one of her videos that she basically wasn't doing a great job at being a wife. He had put up with a lot of stuff that she was going through. She wasn't a good wife or a good mother. And I think part of that was probably because of postpartum. She had obviously pregnant and then had the kids, and she was struggling with that. And then some other stuff just wouldn't get done around the house. And one of the things that she said in her video was, my husband said he wanted to move forward with the divorce. Meaning, in my mind, he had talked to her. It had been something that they had discussed before, right? And he said, okay, well, let's see how things go. And she was like, okay, all right. And now he's bringing it back around and saying, hey, I think we're going to go ahead and move forward with it. Probably because he's tired. Like I said, he had been, dealing with her and the things that she had going on for a little while. And so he just felt like at this point, she's not getting herself together. I think I'm going to go ahead and move on with my life. So a lot of people like to blame him, and really men in general, when they don't stick it out and when they don't stay. Well, she had this going on, she had that going on. But if a man had that going on, it don't matter what he had going on. Death in the family, it literally doesn't matter. They would say, I think 2 weeks is enough for you to get it together. You're the man. I understand grieving, but bills still need to be paid. They would say that. They might not say that to your face because they don't want to seem heartless. I'm talking about modern women, but they would say that to their friends. They would be thinking that because their world, what they had going on, would be on the rocks. It would be in danger of not happening the next month. Their lifestyle would be in jeopardy. So they don't really care anything about you. They care about the lifestyle. I'll give you support just as long as that support leads to you continuing to make money and then figure out how to properly grieve on your own time.
Hey, I like your bike.
Sorry?
I said I like your bike.
Oh, I appreciate it.
What are you up to tonight?
I was just filling up with gas. I was gonna head home. Why?
I was just wondering if maybe you'd want to take me with you.
Take you with him? A random ass stranger? And y'all wonder why nobody take y'all serious.
Take you for a ride tonight?
Yeah.
Oh, I have a girlfriend.
Well, I don't see her anywhere.
What do you mean?
I mean, she wouldn't even have to know.
I don't know what kind of guy you think I am. I'm not taking you for a ride while I have a girlfriend.
Okay, props to him for respecting his girlfriend. But come on, ladies, like, let's have some dignity at least.
Come on, she wouldn't even have to know.
I'm not doing that.
You know, you don't have to lie about having a girlfriend. If I'm just not your type, you just say that.
Well, I'm not lying about having a girlfriend. But even if I didn't have a girlfriend, I would probably want to date you.
I don't want to date you either.
Oh, no way. Did I actually get that?
Well, damn. People don't know how to accept the word no respectfully. Because that wasn't even called for. Like, what would y'all do if y'all was in that situation?
I gotta make the first move. I gotta pay for the dates. I gotta gift you. I gotta do basically everything. Pay for the house, buy you a car, buy you a Gucci bag, take care of your makeup, take care of your nails. Yet you're gonna say it's harder for women? I'm sorry, what is the lady doing? But I gotta cook. I gotta clean. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I am so glad I'm not a man in this generation. It's just like the women that sit up here and talking about something they don't get no benefit from no relationship and not. Maybe you're just choosing the man. Cause me personally, I've gotten free drinks, free za, free money, paychecks. I could go on for real. And I didn't have to give out my pussy. I didn't have to give out my pussy. Like, that's the best part. I didn't have to do none of that. Like, right now, I could call up one of my homeboys and be like, yo, like, you wanna go hang? Bro's gonna give me free za and a free drink. Like, it's that easy. It's that easy, gang. And I know some girls gonna be like, it's because you're pretty. I don't know. I don't know, because a lot of women come up here and talk about something. I'm ugly, you know. So I sometimes I don't see myself as I'm that bad girl. I'm pretty hot, you know. Like I see me as some mid girl. Like I just like a regular girl. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, women talking about something they don't get no benefit is a full lie.
I mean, the man is a workhorse. For all intents and purposes, he's a workhorse. And men don't mind working as long as it's worth it. But a lot of times, for a man, it's just not worth it. You're just not giving me enough. I don't really get anything out of you. I get a whole bunch of complaints. I get a whole bunch of lists of things that I need to do. But I really don't get much out of you as a woman, as a friend, as a support system.
Now, you watch that video, you probably think, regular boppish behavior on the internet, right? But something in my spirit didn't sit right after watching that video. What is it? And all of a sudden, I remembered there was a TikTok I watched yesterday where a girl was like, I just realized that a girl that I was having full-blown conversations with online was AI, right? I was like, that's crazy. AI is getting that good where it'll have social media accounts and it'll talk to you and you'll think you're talking to a real person the whole time it's AI. And then I looked at the video, I was like, something about this seems off. And I zoomed in on the face and I saw inconsistencies and I was like, oh, this is AI. They got AI making OF girl content to sell you an AI OF. Is this hell?
Because the problem with women in social media is really not the media itself, it's what we choose to consume, right? So for men, a lot of times they consume content that is about leveling up to some extent, you know, how to get more money, how to look better, how to attract more women, whatever. For women, oftentimes it is just content that validates you're perfect the way that you are. Everything about women is great. You don't have to change for any man. You can just keep being yourself and somebody's going to come into your life and fall in love with you just as you are. That's the issue, because then we're not growing. We're not challenging ourselves. We're not becoming better people. We're not becoming better women. And the women that do try and make content like that, y'all reject them like hell because you think that they're talking bad about you, when in reality, they're just asking you to do better, step up, become a better version of yourself, so that way you can actually get the things that you want. But y'all just want to believe that you can stay the same and get the things you want. And that doesn't make any sense. So if we collectively as women change the type of content that we consume, I think that it could help us grow. But, you know, the girls just want to hear about what's on sale and clothes and makeup and shoes and hair and blah, 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 blah.
You say you said you're gonna give me some hair for Christmas. That's what you said. You said I was gonna say hair for Christmas. Am I still gonna get some hair for Christmas?
Give that man some head. Baby, I'm sitting here. This is not even a recording day for me, okay? It's a day where I relax, get myself together for the week, okay, do my eyebrows, you know what I'm saying? I do my little lashes, whatever. And I'm scrolling, I come across this video. For those of you who are new here, I'm a certified life coach. I specialize in love and relationships, self-development, and finances, and I have been doing so for close to a decade. Let me tell you something. I have worked with a shitload of couples, okay? Young couples, middle-aged couples, older couples, even same couples. And one thing I can tell you that this man is not lying about is that once people get comfortable in their relationship, not just marriage, but some level of comfort, the woman becomes very selective with slobbing on that knob. It's not just head either. It's very selective with intercourse in general. Now, there's a plethora of reasons why that happens, and I'm not going to even delve into that. But one thing I can say is that absolutely leads to other issues. Anyone that tells you that is not important in a committed long-term relationship is lying to you. And if you're a couple and you're having intimacy issues, go on ahead and type couple in the comment section, and I'll send you a link to my website so where you can get some info on my couples coaching. Ladies, hear me and hear me well. Do not reserve intimacy of any kind for special days, birthdays, holidays, Valentine's Day. No, that should be a normal part of your relationship. Popping that thing for your man should be a normal part of your relationship. And I know someone's going to come in the comment section, well, some of these men don't deserve it. If you've been following me for any length of time, you know I would only be speaking to women who have men who deserve it. Because why would you be with a man who is undeserving? Okay. But baby, maybe you are a woman that has always been with undeserving men. And if that's the case, go on ahead and type coaching in the comment section so I can go ahead and send you a link to my website so you can get some more information on my one-on-one sessions. Because trust me, when you have a man that you want to be with and a man that you love and a man that's doing what he's supposed to do, you are naturally going to want to do it. All of it. Every bit of it. Stay safe.
I understand all of this. I guess the only problem that I have, I read a comment here and I think she said something to the effect of, baby, it's natural to, I think she was agreeing with the video, but one of the things that she said was, it's natural to want to do it when he's doing the right thing. Sure, maybe, but also when the man is continuing to protect and provide and you still don't do it. Well, I don't feel like it. Well, I'm tired. Well, I got a headache. Well, I'm on my period. Well, my stomach hurts. I gotta put the baby down, or I gotta run some errands. Gotta clean the dishes. Gotta fold the clothes. There's a plethora of things. Well, maybe if you would wash the dishes and clean the clothes and fold the clothes, the man fold around and go do it, and you still don't want to give him anything. And by the way, the man still has to do all that he's doing, regardless of the season. A man is always expected to understand what you're going through as a woman. But for some reason, when a man starts to let back, when he starts to step back and he starts to let down on what you feel are his responsibilities, then all of a sudden, well, I don't feel safe anymore. What about him? Maybe he don't feel safe. But his safety in your eyes is not a concern to you as long as you're getting what you want. There was somebody that said something, a quote or something, that essentially said, how come modern women have all this intuition, the gut feeling, all of it works for everything else? You can sense when your man is doing wrong, but why can you not sense? Why is it that you can't feel in your spirit when your man is unhappy? How come your gut don't tell you that? How come your intuition don't tell you that? It's always an excuse with these modern women.
This guy, random guy, met him or whatever, and I wanted to use him as a case study because I already knew, like, he wasn't really my type, so I already knew that it's not going to go anywhere. He took me on a sushi date. Of course, I enjoyed it. I love sushi. And on the day he's talking to me, he's telling me, I'm like, oh, do you have any woman? He's like, yeah, I have a girl. She's long distance. We're not that serious. I'm not really looking for anything serious with her because she's not really my type. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm listening to him. So I'm like, oh, interesting. I'm asking him more about himself. He's telling me he's into development, building buildings, development. I'm like, okay, that sounds good. So he starts asking me about myself. I try to keep it really short. As I answer, I divert the questions back to him to let him talk more so he can feel comfortable talking. I noticed his phones kept ringing and he kept going to the bathroom and saying it's a business call. I didn't really mind because I'm like, you know what? I'm having sushi. I don't even care what you're doing. I'm here having a good time for myself. Now, we were talking a little bit, and a week passed, we're still talking. He's knowing more about me. He's interested. He loves my drive. He loves my ambition and everything, and that's good. He sees that I have a drive, but not from a masculine standpoint, from a standpoint of, oh, she's a busy woman. She has things she got going on. She's not going to just be available all the time. The second week, I was like, okay, this is the time I need to build him. I need to build him now. I don't want to keep being pen pals. We're not pen pals. So I asked him for something very minor. This is the tiny thing that I asked him for. Just to test to see if he was willing to jump the gun. Don't be pen pals with these men. They know what they want from you. They know what they want. All right. So I'm like, my laptop charger is bad. And he's like, oh, wow, that's crazy. Like, what are you going to do? And I'm like, I think I need to buy a new one because it has a shortage in it. I'm not sure what's wrong. It has a shortage. He didn't offer anything. So I was like, oh, do you mind getting me a charger? This man didn't open the message to the next day and said, oh, I'm sorry. I was so busy. I'm so sorry. Do you still need the MacBook charger? And I was like, you know what? No, I'm okay. I sorted it out myself. So once I started seeing that he really wasn't even trying to do much for me, because you know what it is that guys will use like a first date to woo you, take you to a nice place and say, all right, you know what? After this now, since I took her on that first date, it's about time for her to lay in my bed. That's what I'm telling you. This is what these guys be doing. So he thought that he was going to checkmate me, but he didn't know that the only girls that get played is the girls that don't know how to play the game. And I'm the girl that knows how to play the game. So you know what I did? I literally just stopped entertaining him. Like, he'll be writing me and say, hey, what's up? I'll be like, hey, everything is one word answers. And he'd be like, why are you not talking? I'm just like, there's nothing really to talk about because we've talked about everything. If you know my laptop is my bread and butter and I'm telling you something simple as my laptop charger is broken and you can't even say, oh, let me buy you another one or let me send something for you, then what are we talking about? I'm not a pen pal. Can you believe that was the best decision I made? Because you know what it is too about us women is when we start entertaining that pen pal type of relationship, we start becoming emotionally invested because now we're used to seeing their good morning text messages and it'd be a whole bunch of BS later on. To prevent that, don't even be a pen pal at all. So he'll watch my stories, everything. Can you believe a week or two later on WhatsApp?
She talked too much.
I was about to.
I'd have walked.
The beginning was a drag. She could have got more to the point.
Her voice. If I was really on a date with her, I would make up business calls just to take a break. Like, yo, all right, hold on. I'll be right back.
So I don't agree with the test that she did. Hey guys, if you enjoyed that clip, make sure you check out the full episode on YouTube. All the full episodes are there, so check it out.
For a normal man, really, the only thing that she said is, I'm here to waste your time. And when men hear that, they're going to go the other way. So, I mean, you can keep on playing this game for as long as you can. That's an option. But we've seen 52-year-olds come back and say, I thought I was always going to have the opportunity to get a good man. And now I wished I would have done the right thing sooner.
Being pretty makes going out in public so intimidating. And guys make it so obvious too. Like, I hear you. Like, I literally hear what you're whispering to your friends and I see you all staring at me. And
I think the funniest thing about women like getting mad at men saying they don't want to approach is first off, they're nowhere near the paragon of progressivism or egalitarianism they claim to be. You're not in a relationship. No guy is taking you serious right now. All the girls who replied to my last video about men not wanting to approach women, you guys are all single. Like, you're not for me. I'm seeing someone. So
this video is absolutely true. Okay, so if you're a little confused, this guy made a video where he was basically saying like men, like if you're complaining that like you want men to approach you, then just go and approach because like men don't want to approach. And then he got that comment and I can relate because I've made several videos. Okay, this was one of my most recent videos that a lot of girls had an issue with where like girls are complaining that men are clearly not prioritizing them in the clubs anymore because like this girl filmed the video of guys being on platforms, at a bar and being like, oh, dude, they're looking for their husbands and, a bunch of gay comments. And all it is that girls get upset when they see that you're not prioritizing them anymore. So then they go and they clearly aren't as progressive as they want to make it seem because they immediately go to like, that's feminine, that's gay, this. And then what he says is always so true because you'll always get girls in the comments that the people that are saying this are 99% of the time single. And then they'll say this to me as somebody who's in a happy relationship and they'll be like, oh, you're gay. And it's like, did you tell my girlfriend that? Oh, then they don't know I have a girlfriend and they'll be like, oh, well, at least, you can't even find one. And then I'm like, oh yeah, I'm actually in one. And they're like, but then they don't know what to say. And there's so much online proof of just video after video after video of girls complaining. So many girls having a stance of like, why aren't guys approaching me? If you want to be approached, then all you have to do is make yourself available to be approached or just say something to somebody. The reality is, since men are typically the ones that are kind of socially conditioned to be the ones that have to go and approach, a man not approaching you is 100% by choice. Because think logically, the same way girls have this sense of like, well, why would I go and approach a man? Because, you know, most of the time, if not some of the times, guys have proven to me that they'll come to me. They'll swipe up on my story. They'll do this. A good looking guy or a guy who's desirable enough that you would want him to come and do that. Like that happens from people. Like in a non-arrogant way, as somebody who's like, I'm not 6 feet tall. I wasn't a multimillionaire at any of these points. Like, you know, I didn't really always have to go and put myself out there. A lot of times girls will do things to show that they're interested in you. So then logically speaking, I was like, well, why would I need to go and approach a girl? Because every single time that a girl has done that, like she's done something to show interest in me. So it's this weird thing where girls will subconsciously admit like, oh, I don't want to do that. Then you cannot complain because the reality is if you don't want to do that, a guy who also is used to girls somewhat putting a level of interest and effort in is also going to say, well, why would I go and approach a girl? Because the irony behind like a lot of the girls that make the opposite kind of content as like me, John Cannon, BRS, Aqua, all these guys, the ironic thing is all of us, for the most part, BRS just got out of a relationship, are in happy relationships. And then all of the girls that are making these videos are like not finding them. They're just like flexing the dates that they go on and how extravagant they are and the wealth of the men that they go on the dates with. Like, if that's what you want, then I guess, you know, have at it. Because listen, I understand you don't have to sit there walking up to a guy and using a pickup line. But if you start a conversation with a dude and you're good looking as a girl, you'll be fine. But that's just my opinion. But hey, what do you think?
I guess what's funny is modern women have no problem challenging a man to do the things that they want a man to do. Well, you need to step up. You need to grow some. You need to do this. You need to do that. Men, throw caution to the wind. Even if you're scared, get over that fear and come and approach me. Even if I reject you, it doesn't matter. You made me feel good. Put your pride to the side. Put your ego to the side. Come and approach me. Do what I want. Make me feel good. Validate me. Also, while you're at it, validate my girls. You can validate us by A, giving us attention, but also B, buying us stuff to further confirm that we are who we think that we are. Okay, well, if you're challenging a man, then how come you're not challenging yourself? You see a man that you like, he's not coming up to you. How come you don't challenge yourself to go up to him and talk to him? Well, I don't want to seem like I'm chasing a man. I don't want to seem like I'm desperate. I don't want to seem like I'm too easy. Okay, is there anything that you think that you might be able to do that calls his attention to you, that invites him to come to you, that says that you're an approachable person? What are those things? Challenge your mind. Challenge yourself to think about those things that you may have never thought of before. The same way you want to challenge a man to step up, why don't you start challenging yourself